It's been 3 or 4 years since this car has been detailed, and through those years of neglect, it has been sitting outside, uncovered in the rain, the snow, the sun, you name it. And on top of that, it's covered in dust, tree sap, tree pollen, dirt, semen, you name it. This thing's disgusting. It needs help, and today we're gonna give it just what it needs. This sketchy little restoration that we got going on. Some AutoZone wax, some McGuire's claybar. Stuff's probably from 2018. It's been dropped on the ground before. The best product we'll be using today, this chemical guy, is Extreme Body Wash plus wax. Ooh, looks like we're getting a double wax today. Bucket, who cares? Power washer, and then I got a rubbing wheel somewhere. Don't know where that's at, but we'll get that later in the video. Yeah, I'm not too sure why we have an electric power washer. They break, like, at least we break them at least 2 a summer. I guess electric is the way. This thing sucks at priming also. Alright, we just spent about 5 minutes trying to prime this thing. Let's go for it. So we'll just start off with the power washer to get most of the heavy dirt off, because this thing has been sitting for 3 or 4 years, like I said. And yeah, fast forward mode. Just took a quick break to eat, had to re-moisten the car. Now we got the soap in the water. Power washer really only got some of the dirt off, so hopefully this gets most of that heavy stuck stuff off, and then we're gonna start to attack that tree sap. So we just got the car fully dried off. I'm gonna take you for a full quick lap around it. Obviously the hood is covered in stuff, but it's actually really smooth. This was polished last year, which is surprising me that all that is already on it, because it's been covered most of the time actually this last year. Down this side, got a bunch of this light grayish stuff on the paint that wasn't coming off with the soap and water, so we're gonna hope this comes off with the clay bar. This is kind of all over the car, so it's kind of concerning. More tree sap. That's a real big thick piece right there, nice and orange. It's smoke that you wouldn't even be able to see straight. Coming around the back here, lots of extra 3M tape from this wing. This thing is actually not on there very well. We're gonna have to put some new tape on there, as well as get rid of all this excess. This was sitting up a lot more when I first put it on. Seems to have slid down. More of that gray stuff right under the license plate. Exhaust tips are messed up. More gray right here. This is Taylor's wheel from his GTO, which is really funny because those are the same wheels that I have on the BMW now. Paying homage to the boy right there, keeping the dent, and then getting the same wheels on my car, which that wasn't a choice. That car just came with those wheels, so that's pretty sweet. Wheels we're not going to worry about because these are just the stock wheels. I have another set of wheels for this car, but I need tires for them, and since it was cheaper, I got the new meat for these. Got a ton of life on these. Maybe we'll burn them off, who knows. Inside the car, like I said, it's not too bad. I've been in here in the recent year or so. Got some stuff in here from pulling the cover in and out though, so we'll give this what it needs when we get to it. Front bumper, take a look at this real quick. It's just scuffed up, like not much to say about it. It's beat up, it needs to be painted, hit some concrete, all sorts of stuff with that. Realistically, this car does need like pretty much everything down to a repaint, but we're gonna do what we can today with what we have. Got the hot dogs exposed down there, and we got the turtle wax bug and tar remover, which, to my surprise, shit's like Houdini. Watch this, abracadabra. I feel like Mr. Clean, dude. I feel like fucking, this is like OxyClean. That's magical right there. Fortunately, it works pretty quickly. Unfortunately, yeah, there's a lot. So I'm gonna be sitting here spraying and rubbing for a little bit. You guys can enjoy a little time lapse of this. just really trying to spray all the big spots right now, because I think when I come through with the clay bar, it's going to take most of the rest of it off, I hope. Also going to try to let it sit on there a little longer and see if that makes it come off easier. I'm going to start with just the front of the car so that I don't have this stuff drying on me as well. I do not want that to happen, but yeah, I think I got most of it so far. Should be pretty good. Really just leaning into it. I feel like this is a pretty good look at what that bug and tar remover is going to do for the rest of the car. The wax, a lot of this thicker stuff is still on there. Some of that heavier set stuff too. Yellow in the paint, but it's not going to be perfect. We're just going to try to get it as clean as I can for now. And as for this roof, I actually don't think I'm going to do anything to this. I think I'm just going to peel this wrap off and put a new piece on. I'm going to go ahead and finish my grueling rounds here with the bug and tar, so I will see you guys in an hour, 3 maybe.
2 hours later.
All done with the bug and tar. This trunk's just really bad. I don't know why. Could not get most of this to come off with that, so hopefully the clay bar will be able to do it. As for this side, a lot of the gray stuff came off all around the car. This spot was the worst, so probably the biggest difference right here. Hood, obviously I showed you guys me doing that. Turned out pretty decent, a lot better than the trunk did. Other than that, the rest of the car wasn't nearly as bad as the hood and the top of the trunk are. Well, and the roof, but we will wrap this in a different video. I didn't want to spend too much time on that just because I know I'm about to clay bar the car, and that's essentially the same thing as what I was doing, but it should go a little bit deeper, so let's get that set up. This is what we're going to use. I do not care how dirty this piece of clay is. This car is still dirty, and this ain't gonna hurt too much, in my opinion. I think it's gonna help more than it's gonna hurt. What's up, Snoopy? So, to go with our clay, we got a bottle of, you guessed it, pure H2O here, nothing fancy. I don't think there's a need for anything fancy. I think the water will do just fine. Time to go around this thing in another painstaking task, and I'm not too excited. I'm also thinking I kind of turn this into a little series because I have plenty of things I can do to this car. Sun's already starting to set. I do not think we're getting to the interior today. On top of the interior, we got to rebleed this handbrake. I also don't have anything for the headlights. I do want to try to get those cleaned up and restored a little bit, so we'll have to do that in the next part. I'm okay with this coming out in a couple of videos just because I do not want this video to be 45 minutes long, which I know it easily could be. Yeah, broke down the clay a little bit, kneaded it, dropped it on the ground already, not too worried. Didn't feel like anything stuck to it, so yeah, it is what it is. So really this paint doesn't have too much of that sandpaper feel to it. Not too sure how much this is gonna kind of change what we're working with. I'm hoping it'll take off some more of these little spots right here, and just kind of overall get rid of some more of that road grime and tar, other things that you can't really see but you can feel in the paint. This is the clay bar before we do the front quarter. This is the clay bar after, so it actually is taking a lot of stuff out of the paint that we can't see, so that's a good sign. And really after feeling this and feeling the door's definitely a lot less smooth. Not only that, it's like, I don't know how to explain it. This is more buttery. The sun is setting with haste. Got the rear done, got the front done. Here we're doing the door. Kind of want to show you guys what I'm doing a little bit. Since I'm just using the water, definitely want to make sure that you are keeping this thing wet. Having a lot of issues with the clay sticking to the car, and then I have to go back over it, spray certain spots, and then rub the clay on it to get it off. So make sure the clay is wet, make sure the car is really wet, and really just letting the clay do the work. Pretty simple for the most part. A lot more effortless than the bug and tar, to say the least. Using pretty much a lot of water doing this. Not really getting this thicker sap off, but the smaller stuff, this is definitely taking that off. I'm gonna have to come back at this with something else. To all you detailers out there, I definitely applaud you. This is not my forte. Then again, editing videos isn't for everybody either. Just gotta pick what you enjoy at the end of the day. Make sure that you don't hate your job, don't hate what you do. And for the most part, you should be pretty happy, I would say. That is the driver's door. Feels pretty good. Got this big piece of sap still here. I'm gonna hit that again with the bug and tar before I wax the car, but other than that, there's a couple other minor bits and pieces here and there. It's actually a scratch. Smooth. And this is all smooth on this side. Got to get the GoPro charging for a little bit, and I'm gonna finish the rest of the clay bar on this thing. Hopefully that doesn't take me too long, because that's just a little bit of a time crunch. Believe it or not, it's actually a different day. Got dark on us while we were clay barring, but I ended up finishing all that up. Let's go for a quick lap around the car, kind of see what that did, where we're standing. Still a lot of tree sap on the car if you ask me. So we're going back over it with the bug and tar remover, but oh, there goes the sun right when I get out of the car. Can definitely tell a lot of the spots are gone in the paint. That stuff's still there. Hood is one of the worst things. Most of that heavy set stuff's gone. Like I said, most. Nothing really on this side to be concerned about, and then the trunk. This is how this is looking right now. So I'm gonna just hit this with a few more layers of that bug and tar stuff. We had to break out the Abrasion Master 3000, got the 80 grit towel, did some damage on the hood actually. Really, there is nothing that's actually left too much. Anything that is left like that. This stuff I think will come off when I wax it. These spots, all that stuff can stay there. Fought a tough battle, and for all I care, I can hang out with the rest of its bros. Got the trunk sprayed, soaking a little bit. I think doing this in the heat is really helping a lot. It's a lot warmer today than it was when I was doing this the other day, so yeah, let's get to it. Alright, this GoPro's fucking bootleg. It just froze again no matter what I do. Stabilization on, stabilization off. Don't know where it just froze, but... That sucked. That sucked. That's one way to put that. This is how it's gonna sit. I'd say the clay bar took off like 50-60% of the tree sap, and then we probably got another 70% off today with the rest of the bug and tar. So far this car has been through a regular wash with a power washer, bug and tar, clay bar, back to the bug and tar. Let's show you what it's looking like now. Here's the after. We got some stuff landing all over the paint right now, so it's kind of a problem. Definitely a lot better. Got some stains in there, but those aren't gonna come out, I don't think. At least with what I was doing. Probably have to get like a paint correction or something. Still got some pretty big spots back here, but for the most part, it's looking a lot better. Rest of the walk around on the car. Got this big guy off. And we still got some little things here and there, but I think the goal of this is to make it a 5-foot car. And I'm about 5 feet away from this thing. Not in GoPro lens, but GoPro lens I'm like 20 feet away, but this thing definitely looks a lot better in person, standing about 5 feet away. Hell, it's even good like right here in the shade, but once it's in the sun you can still see the imperfections. But it's definitely coming a long way from where we were, and I'm pretty happy with the progress so far. So let's get the wheel set up, let's get some wax on this thing. Got these two guys right here to pick from. This container is pretty much empty, so not gonna use that. But first off, we got the new polish, new finish. It's called New Finish, by the way. Not sponsored by either of these. Okay, no wax, that's weird. Then we got the Turt here. We already used the Turt Bug and Polish, Bug and Tar. Super hard shell as well. This thing's gonna dig into that clear coat. That's what I want, that's what we need. Definitely a lot more of this in this bottle, but I think we're gonna go with the Turtle. Finish it out, fucking Team Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle on this thing. Fucking pew. Just finished the wax on the hood. I mean, you can kind of just tell between these two panels. Definitely a lot shinier. A lot of rock chips on it though. Nothing I could do about that. Stuff did not really come off in these spots, so that is what it is. I'm gonna save this for last because this is the worst part and I don't want to mess the pad up too much, and there's a whole bunch of stuff landing on the car, so I'm kind of like having to wipe it as I go. Thankfully, the sun's going down. We're doing this in the shade. It's not too windy right now. It's kind of helping. Out of the Turtle, so we're using the New Finish. This shit kind of sucks so far, so I'm gonna double coat it. On top of that, it's the same color as the car, so it's hard to tell where you put it. So yeah, let's buff. Second, took way longer to polish, and I mean it's smooth, but like my fingers still skip across the paint with this, whereas this is just like glass. But all I have left to finish is this bumper. I'm not going to do the side skirts because I don't know, I'm just not going to do them. So I'm going to get this done real quick. So I think the main issue I was having back here is I was mixing the compounds, because this is a lot smoother than this. Actually, this turned out pretty decent because I went over it again with a different rag manually. Both of these I had to do fully manually. But I'd say actually they're pretty even. But yeah, I really liked how the Turtle wax applied and came off. It was a lot smoother, a lot easier to process. Especially for this to say no buffing, no rubbing. I was buffing and rubbing 10 times more than I was with the Turtle wax just to get a slightly more mediocre result. That's okay. I'm just happy that I'm done with this finally. Give you a quick walk around on the car, give you some before and afters. This hood was one of the worst parts for sure. Down the side. This was another problem spot. Leaving the 3M because we're going to fix this in a different video. This has to get put on a little better, so we'll do that with the headlights, and we're going to rewrap the roof as well. Do not touch that because I'm not going to try to get tree sap off of a $20 piece of wrap. Back down this side. And the front bumper. A lot of stone chips here, some tree sap. Still in a lot of spots, but I think the goal more was to make this a 5-foot car, because before it was like a 20 or 30 foot car, and I think we achieved our goal there. Still got a lot to do to this car, and if you enjoyed this video, make sure you leave a like down below and also subscribe so you don't miss the next part. I know this video was kind of all over the place and I skipped around a lot, but just detailing paint. Don't want to go too in depth, it might get a little boring. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. I'll see you guys soon. Check out some other videos here.
Yeah, so they get out my way. Yeah, fast on my lane. Yeah, I'm doing my thing. Yeah, feeling like I ain't the boss. Feeling like I ain't